Founded in 2002, National Puzzle Day is a way to share enjoyment of puzzles, and this year promises to continue the fun tradition with Highlights Puzzle Parties, which is a nationwide series of hands-on family events leading up to National Puzzle Day, which is January 29th. It began in early January. More than 500 Barnes & Noble stores, schools, and libraries across the United States have been hosting free community puzzle parties featuring Highlights' newest puzzle collection, Puzzle a Day Challenge, bite-sized puzzles all year long. Kids and families can dive into a wide variety of brain-boosting, laugh-inducing activities and fun giveaways. If you will be celebrating National Puzzle Day, this week's guest is bound to delight. We're speaking with Allison Kane, who is the head of puzzle innovation at Highlights. We're going to dig into why being a puzzle person is connected to social emotional learning, why it's connected to community, and why even if you have not built a puzzle habit in your past, this year, you might want to consider doing just that. Welcome to the show, Allison Kane, Head of Puzzle Innovation at Highlights. Allison, welcome to the show. I want to start with a little bit of like a provocation. So tell me if this is wrong or off base or if it's right on the mark.
Okay.
You are maybe one of the planet's biggest lovers of puzzles.
Fact.
Is this true? Okay, fact. I need your puzzle love origin story. Where does that come from and what does it mean to love puzzles at the level that you do?
I started really young. This is a dream job for me because I subscribed to Highlights as a kid. So probably my first introduction to puzzles was through Highlights, where I loved Hidden Pictures puzzles. If you're familiar with the magazine, you might remember the big scenes with the little objects hidden throughout. That was my favorite thing to do. I had to fight my two siblings to get to the magazine first, so that I could circle the objects before them. But that probably started my love of puzzles. And I love a trivia night. I love a board game night, any kind of brain challenge like that. And I started at Highlights as an intern many years ago and just gained more and more responsibility, found puzzles as my niche, became the puzzle person. And now my title is Head of Puzzle Innovation, which is really fun.
That's like also such a cool job title. Like I feel like there is a Tom Hanks big remake to be made. It's like the story of your life.
Circle.
Tell listeners more about why you are on a mission to get more people involved in appreciating puzzles. Why is this a good thing for us as a human species?
There's so many benefits to puzzling, and some of them are obvious, right? Like especially for kids, doing a word puzzle helps them learn vocabulary. Doing a number puzzle will help them with their math. But then there's all the hidden benefits, learning perseverance. When you finish a puzzle, it's so satisfying. And we actually have a phrase for that at Highlights. We call it the satisfaction of the solve. And it has to be present in every puzzle or it's not worth it. So you learn that through perseverance, you will have this satisfying, joyful learning experience. And then it's confidence boosting as well. When you fill in that last blank line or the last square in the crossword puzzle, you feel, wow, I did it. It's like a big, I did it moment. And we hear from kids a lot. We get letters, thousands of letters and emails from them every month. And one that sticks out to me that I'll never forget is a girl who wrote in just to tell us that she finished her Hidden Pictures puzzle and her mom couldn't find all the objects. She just wanted us to know that she was really good at Hidden Pictures puzzles and better than her mom. And while that is hilarious, it also speaks to learning confidence and feeling really good about using your brain like that. So I think you can get a little dopamine hit. You can practice using your brain in different ways because every puzzle uses your brain differently, from like a maze to a visual puzzle to a word puzzle. You're tickling all the different parts of your brain. And the benefits just don't stop. I think everyone should be doing puzzles every day.
I wonder too about the social aspect. I hope it's not
Yeah.
too spicy to talk about another puzzle, Wordle, but I think about,
I'm a big fan.
okay, I think about the success that has had. And I think that's even, it's not necessarily about the puzzle, but the opportunity to share. So can you say a little bit more about your efforts to bolster that shareability of being a puzzler?
Yes, it's something we talk about all the time is how we can create materials for families to play together, for teachers to use in the classroom. And we see all the time that like teamwork puzzling is really fun. I even remember as an intern, occasionally we would host field trips here at Highlights. Groups of second graders would come in to learn about the publishing process because we do books and magazines. So they learn about the publishing process. And if we ran out of material and we had a little extra time, we would just throw a Hidden Pictures puzzle up on the big screen and they would go bonkers for it. And it was like teamwork. They'd be like, I see the sock. Do you see the sock? And they'd be like, no, where is it? So it can build community, and sharing that experience is so fun. Everybody working together.
So for that educator who's listening and they're thinking, Allison is right, I want to integrate more puzzling, more community building through truly engaging puzzles that have that win that you talked about. What would you advise us to do? What are some next easy steps that we can take to just get a little more experimental maybe with the way that we present puzzling to children as well as their family?
Oh, yeah. So the easiest of all would be to go to highlights.com, find the For Educators tab. We have lots of free printable puzzles there and other materials you can subscribe to or have in your classroom. But just printing out puzzles, and I think having a variety of puzzles available for all the different kinds of thinkers in your classroom is also key. The kids who have an aversion to math puzzles might really enjoy word puzzles. Giving opportunities for different kinds of wins, I think, is also helpful. So yeah, please take advantage of our materials.
On the flip side of that, someone who's listening and they're saying, I love puzzles so much, I would like to get my class involved in the art and craft of designing them. Maybe one of the best people on the planet to talk to about that. If you're thinking of a great puzzle as a recipe, what are things that you're saying, make sure this is a part of your puzzle making recipe?
Ooh, that's such a good question. Okay, so every puzzle is different, right? Every puzzle is built differently. But one thing that is so important, maybe the main ingredient in this puzzle recipe, is to find the line between what is challenging and what is frustrating. That is what we are always keeping an eye on, because you want to challenge your brain, but you don't want to be stressed out about finishing the puzzle. So that's key. That is key. And also keeping it fun. We have, if you're familiar with our flagship magazine Highlights, you might know the tagline is fun with a purpose. And we always say the fun comes first. It's got to have some silly element or some really fresh and fun illustrations or colorful and engaging, something to pull you in. Those two are key. And then maybe the final most important ingredient is some kind of payoff, because we were talking about how perseverance is something you can learn from puzzling. And you learn through a good payoff to a puzzle that there is a payoff to perseverance. So what I'm talking about is, for example, if you're doing a word search, once you've circled all the words, maybe the uncircled letters are the answer to a riddle. So then there's an extra little payoff to getting the puzzle done. So yeah, those are the main ingredients that I think about.
I love that. Allison, do you have a focus group where you actually experiment and test that line of frustration to rewarding? And if yes, like what are some of the ways that actually you test that out, or you take like a scientific approach to figuring out where that line is?
So we have a team of wonderful editors who have a lot of experience in this, including the puzzle innovation team. So we're in consultation with each other first. I will often send a puzzle to one of my colleagues and just shoot them a quick message. Can you try this? Is it too hard? Is it fun? What do you think? So there's that level. And then if ever in doubt, we will test it with the kids in our lives, or friends' kids, or friends of friends' kids. We're always sending materials out for kids to give us feedback. And the nice thing about that is that they're very honest. They will tell you if something's not working, and that's exactly what we need to hear. We can, by watching kids do a puzzle or asking them about how it went, we can amend the directions, make sure they're nice and clear. or change it up a bit to make sure it's going to be fun, challenging, not frustrating.
I love that. And I'm thinking too, if I have an after school activity that I'm running, maybe it's let's design puzzles, let's test them out, let's figure out what those questions are that we'll ask each other. And can we tell a story with our puzzle? Allison, my last question to you, I'm always fascinated. If you have a passion, there's a group for that.
Yeah.
I have recently gotten really into, this is going to instantly tell you how interesting I am as a dinner party guest. I'm like, what new bean recipes can I cook this year?
That sounds great to me.
We can sit next to each other.
Yeah, totally.
There's a bean talk community on TikTok.
Oh, I'm familiar with bean talk, yes.
Okay, it's like that, but that's amazing.
Yeah.
I'm willing to bet if there's a thing such as bean talk, there must be puzzling communities for adults.
Yeah, there's got to be a puzzle talk. You're so right.
But you're not a part of it? I would think
I'm a part of personal puzzle communities. So my group chats are filled with Wordle scores and our times with the mini crossword, all those New York Times puzzles. And then, so I'm lucky enough to be the editor of Brain Play magazine, which is an all puzzle magazine for highlights. And when we address our readers in that book, we say, hey, puzzle people, and we're trying to build this community of kids who share their love of puzzles with one another. So there's that community. And then we're also hosting these events. So if you need to go find your puzzle people, keep this in mind. Ahead of National Puzzle Day next week, which is the 29th, there's, I think, 1,000 venues across the U.S. hosting highlights puzzle parties. And at those parties, we're giving out free puzzles. And I'm talking about logic puzzles, math puzzles, mazes, hidden pictures puzzles, those kinds of puzzles. So you can do them at the event. There's also freebies like highlighters and stickers and those kinds of things. Or if you don't want to go out to a venue, we also have those puzzles available for download. So you can have your own puzzle party at home. So we're creating little communities for sure. That's the goal.
I love that you're thinking about the puzzlers who are introverts as well as extroverts. That level of inclusion I always appreciate. Allison, I know I said last question. This actually is the last question.
Please, that's fine.
I think too about how kids are always looking to adults in terms of what are we doing with our time? What are we saying is great about adulthood? I resisted Wordle for a really long time. I didn't understand what the hype was about, and then I did it. Mm-hmm. And honestly, for me, one of the really cool takeaways was just the after conversation with other people about how hard did you find that? How easy? What did you get first?
Yeah.
What do you wish more adults were maybe modeling to young people when it comes to engaging the puzzle?
That's such a good question. And I think the phrase joyful learning comes to mind, something we talk about all the time at Highlights, that it's just really fun to use your brain, to challenge your brain in different ways. And I think the more we take on a challenge, I always say, math puzzles aren't my thing. I'm more of a word puzzle person, but I'm going to try the math puzzle because it'll give me a challenge. So I think embracing challenge, finding it fun, working your brain in different ways is something that should be celebrated, not avoided.
Great message. I am really looking forward to our big day of the puzzle. And I'm hoping too, maybe again, that inspires a few schools to think about having one that's student-led down the road, taking that as a concept and doing it in micro.
Yes.
Thank you for all that you do. I hope someone does take me up on that idea of the big remake, and it's the story of Allison Kane and her job. Thank you. Have a good puzzle day. And Highlights was a big part of my childhood too. And it's great to still see organizations that are saying fun matters.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Take care, Allison. Thanks again for being on the show today.
Thank you, Tricia. Nice to see you.
A new calendar year always invites big questions. What do we want more of? What do we want to leave behind? And how do we want learning and living to actually feel this year?
As January begins, there's a pull towards resets and resolutions, but instead of just adding more goals or more pressure, what if we started the year by making space for creativity and joy? That's exactly what Crayola Creativity Week is about. It's happening from January 26th through February 1st. It's a free global invitation to begin the year differently, with imagination, play, and creative expression at the center. Crayola Creativity Week offers 7 days of simple, hands-on creative experiences with easy-to-use activities, short videos, and resources designed to bring curiosity back into classrooms, homes, and communities.
Because how we start the year matters. Creativity helps us set a tone of possibilities, not perfection. If you're looking for a meaningful way to begin the year with your students and yourself, this is a great place to start. To learn more and sign up, go to Crayola.com/creativityweek.